What up, peeps? Welcome to today's vlog. It is 7:43 p.m. So obviously we're getting a pretty late start to today's video. We sometimes just need a day to sleep. That's literally all we've done today. Well, I think I slept a lot more than Abby did. But, you know, woke up at, I think like 11:30 and set the vlog for today to go up. And watched a little bit of YouTube and stuff, and had some food this morning, and just kind of chilled. And then it's really hot, and I was just exhausted, so ended up sleeping for a long time. And then I tried to make reservations for Abby and I for dinner at this place in Vancouver down on the waterfront called I think it's called Wild Fin or something like that. It's a restaurant that we've never been to, but Abby is leaving tomorrow to go see my sister again, and so she's like, oh, I want to do something on Tuesday before I go. And I was like, all right, well, you know, we'll go get some dinner. We'll go to a really nice place. And looks like that restaurant has multiple locations. Their reservation thing is kind of weird. I did it online and got an email that said I made a reservation for the Beaverton location, which is like, you know, 40 minutes away. And I was like, no, I want the Vancouver one. So I went to change it, and I picked a table for 8 p.m. and it said, like, you already have a reservation at the Beaverton one. Do you want to cancel that and change it? And I clicked yes, and never got like another confirmation email or anything. And then I checked, and the place closes at 8, and that's when I made the reservation for. So obviously it's not going to work. I tried to call them. They didn't even answer. So we're just going to go to Outback Steakhouse instead. The place we were trying to go is like supposed to be really good. They had like 4.7 stars, really good rating and all that. Pictures looked good. I was excited. So kind of sucks, but either way, we're still going to get some dinner. And I mean, honestly, that's probably all we really have planned for today. So once we get back home, I'll probably head into the game room and figure out something to film, show you guys something cool, talk about something I don't really know yet. Whatever the title of the vlog is probably what it's going to be about. But I have continued to play Pokemon Fire Red, and I think I'm at like almost 7.5 hours now playing. I've been just doing a lot of grinding, trying to obviously, you know, beat the gym leaders as I encounter them, but also I've been trying to catch every Pokemon that I see and train them up to evolve. So I might show you guys a little bit of that later. I am at the 3rd city right now, but I have not beat Misty, so I need to go back and do that. But I picked Charmander. I currently have Charmeleon. I also have my other main one is a Mankey, and then I also caught a Pikachu in the Viridian Forest, which is super awesome. So I'm training Pikachu, Mankey, and Charmeleon. Those are my 3 main ones so far, but I have a few others that I'm trying to build them up and have them evolve. So that's enough rambling. Abby went back inside to get masks real quick because I only have one in the car here. So we're gonna go get some food, probably film a little bit of that, hopefully get something good, and then we'll come home and figure out something to film in the game room. Abby just gave me a bite of her lobster, and it's so good. Now you have a bite.
I don't like doing this.
Is it good?
Yeah.
So Abby got the lobster, and she got broccoli. And we have fried mushrooms, and I got the steak with fries, and I already had a little baked potato soup. It's so good. Abby and I are talking about future plans and stuff. Abby wants to be a teacher. She wants to teach like 3rd grade or something.
Yeah.
So she's probably going to be starting school. I don't know when.
It's spring 2021 is when I applied for.
Spring 2021. That's when she. So like almost a year.
No, it's like 6 months from now.
No, it's not.
It's the 8th month of the year. Right now. It's August.
Oh yeah, that's like half a year.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, thank you. April's the 4th month of the year, so yeah, just about 6 months, a little bit
So Abby's gonna be going to school, and you know, we're still trying to move and everything, so we're gonna try to you know, just keep working on that. We just have to like submit some more paperwork and stuff. All the things that they require are changing because of coronavirus and everything. They need more information.
We're business owners. The biggest thing is like,
yeah,
it's really easy to apply for a loan when you have like a regular job and you do W-2s, but like we have to do like year-to-date loss records, and we have to confirm that we paid the IRS. Like, I mean, it's a lot of documentation because they're asking about like 2015 tax returns for us.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they're requiring from us already because we're, you know, self-employed. But on top of that, because of, you know, the pandemic and everything, they're requiring even more stuff because they're being more careful with the monies that they're lending out. So it's just extra work we have to do, but we're still going to get it done and hopefully be in our own house before the end of the year. All right, guys, so I think I kind of figured out something that I can talk about that will give me a good title for the vlog. Hopefully will be interesting for you guys, and will give you a little bit of insight into some of my kind of like collecting plans, I guess you could say, for like, you know, the semi-near future. So I have a few games that are at WATA right now getting graded, and I left them with Dennis. He is like, I think he's like the president or CEO or something of WATA. But I've known him for a while. We're actually friends. I text with him sometimes. And I left them with him at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2018, I believe it was. I left the games with him, and he's like, you know, just go through on the website, create your order there. You can pay for them on there. But it saves on shipping if you can give them to them in person, obviously. So I did that. And so he's got, I think, 5 of my games right now. And I picked, well, I didn't pay for them for a year and a half. Just kind of forgot about it. And, you know, I knew that they were safe with him, so I wasn't really too worried about it. And then finally I was just like, I keep forgetting. I just need to go do it. I've got the money. And so I paid for them. And this was maybe like 6 or 7 months ago that I paid for them. I feel like it could have been, you know, could have been like just a couple months ago, but I feel like it was 6 months ago, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And what's kind of cool about their website is that you can go in and look at your order, and if they do anything with your stuff, it will be updated on there. So you don't have to wait to get the games back in the mail. You can just log into your account and see it there before they've even shipped it. So I've been checking, you know, like every week or so, and there was no updates for a very long time. I know that they're backed up, and I picked the slowest, you know, return time because I wanted to pay the least amount to get them graded. So I was looking and looking, nothing was getting updated. Then finally I looked, and all of the games in my order had pre-grading photos. So they just take photos of the games before they do anything else. And those were updated. And I was like, okay, cool. So they're obviously getting to them. Hopefully we'll see some updates soon. And then about a week later, I checked again. So I checked last night. I have with them right now 2 NES games, 1 Game Boy Color game, and 2 PlayStation 1 games. And everything except for the 2 PS1 games have been graded. And so I know the grading scores. They grade both the box and the seal separately, which I think is kind of cool. And they have their little notes in there, which is just basic stuff like, oh, it's, you know, which revision is it? What's the date? You know, blah, 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 company, all that kind of stuff. And so the games that I have with them, you know, I'm not going to tell you guys the grades or anything, because once I get the package back, I'd like to unbox it and show you guys then. But the games that I have there's a Super Mario Bros. 3 and Danny Sullivan's Indie Heat, both for NES. There's Worms Armageddon for the Game Boy Color, and then for PS1, it's Mega Man either X5 or X6, I can't remember. I think it's X6, and then Chronicles of the Sword. So those ones are all factory sealed, getting graded. And my plan was to potentially sell some of those, use the money that I get to buy just standard complete copies if I don't already have one, and then use any money left over either to just put into savings or to grab something else for the collection. So you guys know that I am interested in kind of collecting factory sealed video games, although complete in box is perfectly fine for me. especially when it comes to the older stuff like NES, N64, Super Nintendo. Complete in box stuff is perfectly fine. The stuff that I like getting sealed usually is the newer stuff like Nintendo Switch limited editions and games like that. It's easy to get them sealed because they're coming out right now. So obviously, if you're trying to get like a bunch of sealed N64 games, it's going to be way more difficult, be way more expensive than just getting complete copies. And complete is fine with me. So while I enjoy collecting sealed games and I think it's cool to find stuff and find good deals and all that, I don't necessarily care about having them sealed. I'm perfectly fine with having complete copies. So I have one game in the collection here. When I did a video probably a few months ago that was called something like, the most expensive games in my collection, something like that. And this was the #1 most expensive game that I own, and that is a factory sealed big box copy of Pokemon Box for the Nintendo GameCube. The box has a sticker seal on the top and on the bottom. This thing is legitimately factory sealed. Everything inside is untouched. I'm assuming, obviously the game inside is sealed as well, but this big box is factory sealed. And my plan was to get this graded, sell it, because the price is ridiculous, sell it, use the money to buy a complete copy to replace this one for the collection, because I still want to have a copy of the game, and then use some of the extra money to get probably something like a complete in box Hagane, or a complete in box Aero Fighters, or something like that, and then I would still probably have money left over. So I texted Dennis and I was like, hey, I want to get this game graded. And I was trying to see if I sent it in now and I paid for the really expedited thing, if I could get it back with my other games. And he informed me that unfortunately, they do not have cases for this size box. So they cannot grade this right now. And I don't know how long it would take. I don't know how long I have to wait before they could. So my only option right now to get this graded is VGA, which I'd prefer WATA, but for something like this, if VGA is the only option, that's fine with me. But the reason that I wanted to talk about it, and I think that it would be kind of interesting, is because this game, like, I got this in 2019. It wasn't really even that long ago. I got this from Super Smash Games in Tacoma, Washington. The same day that I got this, we also picked up my GameCube kiosk from them, which I don't know if you can see, but it's right there in the back room. And it was not cheap. And I almost passed on it because I was like, man, it's so expensive. And I didn't really care that it was factory sealed. I was just more interested in getting a complete in box copy. So with the price being obviously more than a complete copy, I was kind of leaning towards not getting it, but I'm really, really glad that I did, because the price on that thing has spiked and it's ridiculous. I would never, ever pay anywhere close to what it's worth. There is one graded one on eBay right now. I think the guy has it listed for something like $13,000 or best offer, but he even says in the description of the item something like, I will not take anything less than $8,500 or something like that. So I don't think it's worth $13,000, obviously. I'm not even sure it's worth $8,500, but I think, because like a regular complete in box copy will sell for over $1,000. So a sealed one, who knows really? But if I get it graded and it gets a good grade, because it's in pretty good condition, if it were to somehow sell for, for like $5,000, let's just say, and it might not even be worth that, I'm not sure. That's just a number that I'm just making up right now. If it were to sell for that, and I could then buy a complete copy for like $1,500, $2,000, I don't know what they really go for right now, but if that was an option, then obviously I'd have some money left over. And if it worked out like that, I could maybe put a little bit of money into savings, but then grab some stuff for the collection that I've been wanting, that's just maybe a little bit too expensive, or I'm just never going to find it in person. There's a couple GameCube games I still need that I would love to knock off the list, and like, they're not even that rare, but just like the NCAA College Basketball 2K3, that's not going to come in the store anytime soon. So, and something like a complete in box Hagane for Super Nintendo or an Aero Fighters, I would love to add those ones to the collection, but I'm never going to just stumble across one of those for a good price, you know what I mean? So that's kind of my plan, and I have other factory sealed games that I've been considering doing this with as well. The Pokemon box is just probably the most expensive one. And I think when I did that video, if you guys want to search it, you just search on YouTube something like, SicCooper rarest games I own or something like that. I can't remember the exact title, but I believe in that video, I did find a sealed big box that had actually sold. I can't remember what the price was, but I remember that I put it in there. So if you're curious about that, you can look that up. But like I said, I have some other games as well that I would not be opposed to selling. The Mario Bros. 3 that is at WATA right now was one of them. I believe that it probably got a score that is maybe a little bit too low. It's not bad, of course. It's still a factory sealed one, but the sold listings that I can find for similar condition graded ones that have sold are like $400, which to me, that's not really that much. I think it'd be cooler to have a sealed Mario 3 in the collection than to have $400. But there's one that is on auction right now that has, like, basically the grade for the box is like out of like a 10 or whatever, I think it is. So it's either out of 10 or out of 100. So it's either like, you get an 80 or you get an 8. It's something like that. But there's one on an auction right now that has the same grade as mine, but then the seal grade is just slightly higher than mine. But it's on an auction and it's already at $2,000, which is crazy. And I don't know if it's maybe like a different variation or something. It's not like, mine's the right bros and the one on auction's the left bros. It's nothing like that. So I don't know. I'll have to wait till I get it back and kind of see what's going on. But that's one that I was definitely considering selling as well and just putting the money towards something else. Because like I said, I don't really care about having a sealed Mario 3. It's kind of cool, but I have a complete one and I'd be fine with that. If I can sell the Mario 3 and use the money to get, maybe get the plush I need to complete my Rampage 2 big box for the N64, that would be pretty cool. Or get one of the other N64 variants that I'm never ever going to find otherwise. Like there's like a Tarzan game for N64 that comes in a big box with some like plastic figures. There's a Shadow Man for N64 that comes with sunglasses. There's like a couple t-shirt bundles and stuff like that, but they're so incredibly rare and expensive, I'm never going to find them. So, I don't know, I just think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is it cooler to have a sealed Pokemon big box, or is it cooler to have a complete one and then also have Aero Fighters or Hagane or something like that? Or even maybe like another NES game, maybe, complete in box Power Blade 2, or maybe try to get like a Flintstones complete in box, or Cowboy Kid, or Kid Clown or something. I don't know. I think it'd be cooler to have just a complete copy and something like that versus having a sealed one. The sealed copy is really, really cool, but if I have a complete one, I don't necessarily need a sealed one. So I know some people are way more into sealed games than I am. I just think that they're kind of a cool thing. I don't really ever go out of my way to look for them. You guys know that. I mean, when we go to other game stores, I'm not like, do you have any sealed games? I just look for whatever I think is kind of cool and whatever I'm missing from the collection. If I happen to find a sealed game that's priced as a complete copy, I'll buy it, you know what I mean? But I never go out of my way to get them. And that Pokemon box, it wasn't even out for sale. We're talking, and he's like, oh, we got something pretty rare, and showed it to me, and I was just like, man. When he first brought it out, I thought that it was just a complete one, and I was excited because I wanted to buy a complete one. And then he's like, oh, it's actually sealed. And I was like, oh, dang, well, probably too expensive now kind of thing. But I'm at least glad that I, grabbed it. So, I don't know. Those are my thoughts, though. That's kind of what I have planned for that. I just, I don't really care about having the sealed ones as much. And sometimes people like to try to pretend like like I'm a factory sealed collector. If I was, I wouldn't have all these complete games. I would just have way, way less sealed games. Because I could sell my complete games and use the money to buy some sealed games. Obviously, I would end up with fewer games, but I'd rather have complete ones. There's a couple games I would like to have sealed copies of that are like some of my favorite games. Like, it'd be really cool to have a sealed Mario 64 and a sealed Donkey Kong Country 2. But if I don't have them, it doesn't really change much. It would just be kind of like a cool little thing, you know, to have like one little display case in the game room that has like, you know, some of my favorite games factory sealed. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I don't need them. I don't need the complete ones either, I guess, but I want them. You know, I love going for complete sets. And some people think it's crazy. I know it's obviously not for everyone, but I enjoy the thrill of the hunt. I enjoy going after stuff. I enjoy learning which games are a little bit more rare or hard to find. And when I focus on a particular system, that's the kind of stuff that I'm learning. Like with GameCube right now, there's so many games that I maybe hadn't even heard of, like Backyard Baseball 2007. I had never even heard of that game before looking into like rare GameCube games. And that was a game that was cheap, but it was so freaking hard to find. And I got really, really lucky and found my copy at a game store in Ohio when I was there. It was the last game store that was the last stop on my entire trip. And I found this game, that 2007 version, is so rare. I found this on the shelf there for $15. And I've seen copies sell for over $100. So, you know, it's just, I love doing stuff like that. And even this Auto Modellista for GameCube, this is kind of a rare game. I found this at Recycle Video Games for $4.99. And that was or $5, and that was in Oregon, so there was no sales tax. It was $5 for that game. I just love going after complete sets, and if I sell some of the sealed games that are worth way too much, and then just get a complete copy and have money left over, I can use that extra money to get more of the library and get just a little bit closer to finishing off those sets. So it's kind of what I'm thinking. I know that I just rambled for a very, very long time. I know not everyone's into that, so I'm going to just make this outro short here. I'm going to play some Pokemon Fire Red. We're going to watch some Sons of Anarchy. Abby said she's either going to play Stardew Valley or Breath of the Wild on her Switch Lite, and we're just going to relax and get to bed. Thank you guys. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening to me talk about nonsense for a long time. Not sure what we have planned for tomorrow, but we'll figure something out. So guys, that's going to be it for today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed, even though it wasn't probably the most exciting vlog, but I just kind of have thoughts about that. I've kind of been going back and forth whether I want to sell the stuff or not. So hopefully getting a little bit of input from some of you guys will help me decide. I'm like 99% now, like, yes, I want to sell them. But up until this point, I was kind of like, should I do it? Should I not do it? I don't know. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow.